But the reason for the redaction is what's making all the news today. And that's that there is an active criminal investigation into interference in the prosecution of SNC Lavalin. And the question is Justin Trudeau the one who is under investigation by the RCMP? We know that since 2019, he's been blocking the RCMP's attempts to get all of the information about this file. This is the same case that saw Justin Trudeau fire Jody Wilson-Raybould and, set off that firestorm in advance of the 2019 election.
Joe Rosenell with the front line with Joe and Joe. Once again, let us go into the breach. Some breaking news. Federal police are investigating Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for obstruction of justice. If indicted, Trudeau could face up to 10 years in prison. Guess how many years he's going to actually get? 0.0. Leave our kids alone. Like to hear it. Play the clip.
Leave our kids alone! 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 Take the garbage off your face! Leave our kids alone! Leave our kids alone! Leave our kids alone! Leave our kids alone!
Maybe this is the battle cry Canada needs. It's about the children. We have to see the real fight. The real fight isn't liberal versus conservative. It's the people versus the establishment. And when people see that fight for what it is, that's when you win. I got news for you. They want you arguing. Stop arguing. Put down your differences for a moment and realize this. No matter who becomes the prime minister, arguably, they're just going to throw you a crumb. You're going to be in the same situation that you're in. For the most part, the battle is the people versus the establishment. Let's come together. Maybe it'll be the kids that bring us together. There's an old saying, man plans, but God laughs. Maybe God has a plan, and maybe man should follow it. A robbery at a Shoppers Drug Mart in Toronto. Play the clip. Couple comments. Progressive sure know how to govern a city. That is unarguable. And also, notice those robbers had COVID masks on. At least they were politically correct, even though they're robbing you. You got to give them that. Joe Rosenell with the front line with Joe and Joe. Once again, let's go into the breach. On a train in Ontario, military vehicles were seen. Play the clip. Couple comments. The conspiracy theorists are going nuts on Twitter. Voices like Alex Jones are being heard all over the place. The frogs are turning gay, and they have military vehicles going across Ontario. The world is coming to an end. I'm telling you right now, Justin Trudeau, he's going to wage war. He's going to wage war. How was my Alex Jones imitation? You like it? Forbes came out with Justin Trudeau's net worth. They say he's worth $97 million. Just for the record, his annual salary as the Prime Minister is $379,000 Canadian dollars a year. He also earns millions more in investments and business ventures. Can you say insider trading, Canada? If I was to bet dollars to donuts, that's how he made all that money. Martha Stewart, remember Martha Stewart? She went to jail for insider trading. It was a country club jail for only like 11 months. But I believe it was a $40,000 renege on a trade that she went to jail for. Justin Trudeau's made a lot more than that. Martha Stewart nowadays, I see commercials of hers in America. She sells like cat litter. When a cat takes a turd in the litter, it turns colors. What do you think Trudeau would think about colored cat litter? You think he's investing in colored cat litter? Maybe that's how he made all his money. Colored turds in litter. You think that's how he made his money? Or maybe he's just taking a turd on the people. Maybe. But sadly, that turd isn't turning colors. That's for sure. The National Post journalists are in revolt over a column denying racism. I'll be honest with you. I don't know about that column. I do know this. That dude doesn't have a 4-head. He has a 5-head. In fact, I think it's even a 6. Some are saying Justin Trudeau is taxing the Canadian people at a rate of 70%, all in. Play the clip.
Canadians are taxed at 53% before a 13% VAT tax. Think about what that does. It gets you to 66%. Then add on carbon tax, add on real estate tax, which you pay after tax, add on gas tax. You get to 70% tax. It's the most uncompetitive tax jurisdiction in North America, and the capital's all moved away. And all Trudeau knows how to do is say, let's tax some more. But he's killed the golden goose of Canada. 42 million a day is lost in Canadian revenues because we can't build a pipeline. Think about that. $42 million a day. That's Morneau, that's Trudeau, that's the incompetency of an administration that doesn't understand the infrastructure in Canada and how it works. It's imperative that we get new leadership. It's absolutely imperative. Now, the good news is I'm staying in touch with the numbers coming out of Quebec, which is really where you determine who gets a majority mandate and not. Quebec is slowly leaning against Trudeau because I guess they're looking at him saying, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. And you would think he had almost 70 or 80% of the votes there. We'd help him find a job somewhere else. This guy has to find a real job somewhere one day because it's not running Canada.
How much more is this dude going to take from people? In all honesty, I'll be truthful with you. I'm looking at it from an American's perspective. I don't know how you live when people are taxed at a rate of 70%. I'll be honest with you. Even if you make a boatload of money, how do you live? The government isn't your sugar daddy. You still have to pay for things. And things cost money because of the inflation that Trudeau caused due to the fact that he's printing money. I don't know how you live. I don't know how you tolerate that. I seriously don't. And I'm speaking as an American. I don't know your culture in the sense that I don't live there. But to be honest with you, this is absurd. It really is absurd. I don't know how you could stomach it. And frankly, I don't know how everyone isn't in the streets because of it. I really can't. Please explain it to me in the chat.
Now, as you can see from the title of the video I want to show you, short clip, a teacher in Canada, okay, I don't know what the hell is going on in Canada, so berating a Muslim student for not celebrating Pride Month. Now, remember real quick commentary, what the left has done. They coddle Muslims. They're afraid to say anything about Muslims. If you say anything about a Muslim, you're an Islamophobe, okay? But in this particular case, because we've said before at the front line with Joe and Joe, Islam and Muslims, they're not going for this stuff. They're not going for rainbow flags. They're not going for transgenderism. They're not going for gay marriage. They're not going for any of it. And guess what? They're pretty vocal about it because the left is in a pickle. They can't really say anything about Muslims, but they truly want to. So now here you have a teacher. Listen to what this teacher is saying to a Muslim student.
Well, I'll tell you, you were out to lunch. If you think it's acceptable to not show up because you think there's some pride activities going on at school, right? Oh, that's fine. You know, because I'm going to show my opinion by hanging out at the mall. But meanwhile, all of those kids who are, involved in, say, the Gay Street Alliance or whatever, I don't even know if we have that anymore in our school, they're here when we did Ramadan for Lion Time, and they're showing respect in the class for your religion, right, for your beliefs. It goes two ways. If you want to be respected for who you are, if you don't want to suffer prejudice for your religion, your color of skin, your whatever, then you got to give it back to people who are different from you.
Chris Guy during the Toronto mayoral debates. Play the clip.
Choose their pronoun. And now they have laws in place that if they can convince your little son Jack that he wants to be called Jill, they'll call him her, they'll call him Jill, and they will not inform you, they will not ask for your consent. And then 6 months later, when Jill puts on a dress at your house and you're all concerned, CPS is going to be knocking at your door, wondering why you're not affirming your child's gender. This is is about sexualizing children, confusing children, perverting children, so the state can become the #1 influence in their life over the parents, and parents need to stand up to this vehemently and call out these child groomers for what they are, and we need to enforce the books. There's 171.1 and 171.2 against child exploitation. These are laws on the books and they need to be enforced.
That truly is a disturbing piece of information. And that is exactly why the mainstream media does not cover events like that. And this is exactly why the mainstream media is the enemy of the American people, and why the true news are sources found on social media, like the Front Line with Joe and Joe. Make sure you always tune in. You will always get the truth because we have your back. Atlantic premiers insulted by Ottawa's costly carbon tax. You've just come up with this now? You're insulted? What are you going to do about it? People, these politicians have to stop posturing. Sadly, the establishment is all in on the carbon tax because they're all in on globalism. You got to get your country back. You have to realize you don't have a country of the people anymore, and the carbon tax is destroying the middle class. Stop listening to the rhetoric. Stop buying the posturing and demand results. If you don't get results, go to the streets and boycott. I mean, really boycott, not a little spattering of people here and there. People have to basically in masses go to the streets and basically say, listen, you don't represent me anymore. You're destroying me. My refrigerator is bare. I can't put gas in my car. I can't afford rent. These are basics, and you don't have them anymore because of the carbon tax. So stop posturing and say you're insulted. This goes to all the politicians out there, and people shouldn't let them get away with it. Joe Rosenell with the Front Line with Joe and Joe. Once again, let us go into the breach 2 days before summer solstice in Canada. Oh, but global warming is plaguing the West. Oh, yes. So much for the herbs. By the way, in Canada, you can smoke herb and smoke it in plenty. This guy says Dougie Ford wants me to win. Play the clip.
I think Doug Ford wants me to win more than any of the other candidates. You think he'd rather work with me or Olivia Chow? Yeah, he screwed everybody over the last couple of years, but he gave himself plausible deniability. What did he say? He said, this is a public health thing. This is out of my wheelhouse, so I'm not going to have any authority. I'm just going to listen to what these people tell me. That only goes so far. The things they were telling us to do were beyond common sense. So he should have stood up for the people. He didn't. He's not in favor of the people. Working with someone like me, all of my ideas, when implemented, are going to make him look better. When everything goes good in Toronto, the premier comes out smelling like roses.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to see Chris and Dougie Ford talking by a table. I'd like the optics. Dude with tattoos on his neck and Dougie Ford being all Dougie Ford like.
Securing your data privacy is more important than ever. Start your free privacy scan and see how much of your data is being sold on the internet. Offering data breach monitoring, bulk data removal, and agency protection, DataSeal.io is the best and most affordable way to secure your data from ending up in the wrong hands. Remove your data today from the internet with DataSeal.io. That's DataSeal.io.